We camped last night on Cooper Creek at Etadunga, or just outside of Etadunga, and we've just stopped off at the MV Tom Brennan, which is a flood boat that was used to ferry supplies and people across during the floods. Actually had to stop and think whether it was Friday, Saturday or Sunday, so that actually is a pretty good sign that we're having a fantastic time when you lose track of days.
And look, we've done this today in the car purely and simply because we've retreated out of the wind. It is blowing a gale, and it's currently only 11 degrees. It's cold and the wind is bitter. So
yeah, I think the wind chill factor is a lot.
It's a lot lower.
Yeah.
We haven't had breakfast or anything like that. It wasn't pleasant to sit around and have anything to eat there. So we've just decided to get on the road, let the day warm up a bit, and then we'll have something to eat down the road, in the hope that we can find somewhere out of the wind. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's been blowing a gale all last night. The camper was just getting smashed. I did take some video with my phone. I don't know if it's going to show up, but the wind side walls were like bowing in. Basically the canvas was bowing in, and probably a good 25 centimeters. Like, I didn't actually realize it could stretch that much.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of an average night's sleep. It wasn't too bad, but hey, still in an amazing part of the country. Just don't remember it ever being this blowy. But
no.
So today we're heading to
Coward Springs via, obviously you've got to go through Marree. There's quite a few ruins that we're going to stop along at, and we're going to stop at some of the history of the old Ghan Railway line.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I've seen other people's photography in it, and there's one siding that looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Onward to Coward Springs. And
time to get on. This is supposedly the worst part of the road that we're heading towards, so we'll see what it's like.
Yeah, awesome.
See you soon, bye. Driving along, the very distinctive shape of a CJ stood out. We had to stop and check it out. We have no history about this car. It's just such a shame to see it wasting away.
What an unexpected sight. We've just come across some, a flowing water, I suppose?
Yeah, like a coolabah.
Coolabah, yeah. I can't believe how quickly it's flowing, and the bird life is amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting because we had no idea this was coming up. There was no warning. There was a sign less than 300 metres away to say that there was some parking here, and we wondered why. And it's just in the middle of nowhere. It's incredible. Obviously, I'm not sure if it's related to floods or if it is like this all the time, but it's absolutely beautiful. How are you?
There you go, alright.
Good. Is this like this all the time, or is it just because of the rain?
Nah, this here, they've got a ball that's running creek ends, just off the left. The road goes out that way, then it goes to a camping ground, showers and everything there.
Sorry, the audio was just terrible here. Lots of wind, and it was very, very hard to hear Bobby. We ended up having a conversation with Bobby for about 20 minutes. It was great just catching up and talking about everything from the desert to the local wildlife. He pointed out this amazing campsite just nearby. To Lisa's delight, he mentioned that there was 4 or 5 brolgas there. Told us to go up and have a look. He even offered us to use the showers free of charge, which was amazing. We were so lucky we got up there and the 4 brolgas were there. This is the moment that Lisa decided that she definitely needed a new lens. Yeah, Bobby. This is why 360 cameras are amazing. We had no idea this bird even went past. It's a white-breasted wood swallow. How fast is this thing? This is the famous Dingo Fence. It's actually the longest structure ever built on Earth. It stretches approximately 5,600 kilometres, or that's about 3,500 miles. It covers from southeast Queensland right down through to South Australia. We crossed the Dingo Fence a number of times on this trip, and we always wondered what the alarm was when we went over. It actually is an audible deterrent to keep dingoes or dogs from crossing the fence. So here lay the ruins of Lake Harry Station, originally set up in 1897 as a date plantation by the Australian government. The plan was to grow date palms here, but one of the biggest problems they hadn't considered was the lack of bees. This saw the plantation having to pollinise every flower by hand. There was also some other unique Australian problems, one of them coming in the form of the bird called a corella. Corellas are very destructive and they're known to completely wipe out crops. While we're actually here, there was actually a number of corellas in the area, and I couldn't work out what they were eating, but they were eating some sort of plant off the ground. You can even hear the cracking and crunching in the background in some of this footage.
Wow. I would have loved to have seen this in its heyday.
Listen to the sound these trees make in the breeze. I love to walk around these ruins. There's always so much to discover. If you do get a chance to go to any of these locations, make sure you don't just look at the main area. Go for a walk. In the outer areas, there's always some treasures to find. Marree signals the end of the Birdsville Track if you're heading from north to south like we were. It's a great place to get some fuel. There's also a great park here with an incredible history regarding the Afghan settlement. If you're here, definitely take the time to walk through this park and learn some more of the history. There's also two diesel engines left, number 57 and 58, from the original Commonwealth Railways, or it was also known as the Ghan Railway. We'll be covering the Ghan history a lot more in some coming episodes.